Thank you so much, Ariana. Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellencies, leadership from ITU present here, His Excellency Minister of Communication and Information Technology of the Arab Republic of Egypt, represented by Deputy Minister Mahmoud Badawi, Honorable Minister responsible for Information Communication and Information Technology of the United Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Angela Kairuki, distinguished delegates, esteemed partners, innovators, ladies and gentlemen. It is humbling to be back at the AI for Good Summit this year, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this very special session. This session is very important and close to me because it explores what young African innovators are doing with AI across the continent. Allow me to start by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to the ITU and AI for Good teams for championing inclusive innovation. These are not ideas waiting for tomorrow, they're solutions creating impact today. We are privileged to be joined by several African innovators, government leaders, and visionary experts from across the continent with a platform that is the AU's TISA 2034 competition. It's called the Presidential African Youth in AI and Robotics Competition. So without further ado, allow me to welcome to the stage Honorable Minister Badawi and Honorable Minister Kairuki from Tanzania. Please come to the stage.
You sit there?
Welcome.
So this
Have
one?
a seat.
Where do you sit? I should sit
Anyway, please.
there? Which one? Yeah? Okay.
And to start us off, I would like to invite Alain Gomu from Guinea to take the table.
That's you as well.
Alain has a portable, offline-powered microscope that is solar chargeable, and his innovation is able to detect tuberculosis and malaria in under 2 minutes. It is not only solar chargeable, but a quick fact I want to share with you is the fact that every single day, 1,320 children, that's a rough estimate, die from malaria in Africa. And more than 3,400 people globally die from tuberculosis every day. So this type of innovation is inclusive, and we shall let Alain take the stage and show us and tell us more about it. You may proceed, Alain.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cece, and I'm with my colleague Alain, and we are co-founder of Tinatech. Tinatech is a startup of technologies, and we built our first product, which is Kolepono AI. Kolepono AI is a device which can work without internet and electricity. We can use in area zone which, where we don't have electricity and internet. So Kolepono AI, the idea comes from a basis innovation where we know that in Africa continent we don't have electricity in more areas and we don't have internet. So we thought about it and we said what we can to make a device which can work without internet. So I will let you, Alain, make the demonstration and you will see. Thank you. So this is the I don't know, the similar lamp that you use. You have to put here the blood and color it, and then we just put of the device and Yeah, like that. We use a smear blood to put in on this lamp, and the camera of this Microsoft will pick the picture. When you pick the picture, and the result will come here, like you are seeing on the video. And after that, we will see if the result is positive or negative. And after that, he can print the result and for the to give the patient. And after that, we just have to have the product for the treatment. Yeah, it's okay for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Elaine and Ceci, for this amazing innovation. Elaine and Ceci are from Guinea in Africa, and it's amazing work what young African innovators are doing. I would like to now turn up this conversation a little bit with engaging our leaders. And I will first engage the Minister from Tanzania, Her Excellency Angela Kairuki. Honorable Minister, Tanzania was the first country to host the Presidential African Youth in AI and Robotics Competition in Tanzania. What did this vision mean to Tanzania and the continent as a whole?
Thank you so much for Thank you so much for availing us this opportunity to be also one of the distinguished members of the panel. First of all, I would like to congratulate our young innovators, especially Kolepono AI, for the significant innovation that you came with and the impact that it has created, especially for tuberculosis, but also for malaria. But also, secondly, I would like, before I continue to respond to your question, I would like to congratulate you, Yvonne, for being a potential innovator for Africa, but also through your innovation, especially on the Elevate AI, but also your Mama Mate, where you had a lot of contribution, especially for maternal innovation and also protection and reduction of maternal mortality. So for this one, we are very proud as Africa and well done. But also, secondly, coming back to your question, the AI meeting, AI for Good, Impact Africa, it created a very big impact. And for us in Tanzania, it was a proud moment for us, but also it was a milestone for Africa, whereby the significance for it as a continent, but not only as a country, but also with the continent, it created and showed us the confidence that the international community has bestowed in Africa, but also the confidence that the international community has bestowed for Tanzania. For this one, we had an opportunity to showcase the Tanzania's progress where we've reached so far, especially on development and expansion of our digital infrastructure, but also on strengthening of our digital public infrastructure, the investment that we've done to create our human capital and talent, especially on digital skills, we've invested very much, but also on the creation of the enabling environment, whereby the innovation ecosystem can thrive so that the young innovators can have the opportunity to do their innovation. But the major highlight of the Presidential African Youth in AI for us, especially on the robotics competition, we saw opportunities whereby the young innovators from across Africa, they had an opportunity to present their outstanding AI solutions through their innovations. And some of them have already been seen here, being showcased, and you can see if all of them, all of the competitors, had an opportunity to showcase whatever they've innovated, I'm sure will be amazed. And obviously, they are very relevant. And this pathway, if they will be nurtured well, they can create a lot of impact. But also, we've seen how they've developed their innovations, but also how the practical technologies with the real social and economic impact to the communities' challenges whereby they are in Africa. So they did not only created innovations which don't have impact to our challenges. Especially for Tanzania innovators also, they got an opportunity and they benefited a lot, especially to connect with their fellow companions, young innovators from Africa, but also across the world. They had an opportunity also to connect with some of the global experts, but also investors, and also the fellow innovators, as I intimated earlier on. So basically what I can say to conclude, this event for Tanzania, but also for Africa, being the inaugural host, it gave us an opportunity to showcase that Africa is ready to play the role, and especially an active role, of shaping the technologies that will solve our issues, will solve our social and economic problems, but also our social and economic needs for humanity, for us, developed by us, but also to be used by us, and this will define our future. It's not working.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those inspiring insights and for Tanzania's continued leadership in championing youth innovation across Africa. Now allow me to invite an innovator from DRC Congo, Pierre Sedi, to also show us what is going on in Congo and beyond. I'm very excited as well about this one. Please, a round of applause.
May I have for the slides? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this session. My name is Pierre Sedi, and I'll give you a quick overview of the Cerebro project, which is about AI-based brainwave control of robotic devices for people living with severe motor impairment in Africa. First of all, a quick story. One day I was working near the Kinshasa Central Station, and I came across a severely disabled man seated in a wheelchair begging for alms under the sun. And I approached him, and I wanted to give him something, and he told me, you can just put it in the basket that is beside of me. And I realized that this man was unable to use his hands nor his legs. And this man, in fact, was unable to move by himself from there in case of sudden rain. So probably one of his family members brought him there. So this is the reality of severely disabled people in Africa. Access to appropriate care is depending mainly on family members. Access to assistive technologies is very limited. And the consequences of all this is dependence, social isolation, poverty, and loss of autonomy. Now, let's dive deeper into the African reality. About 1.3 billion people in the world live with significant disability. 2.5 billion people in the world need assistive technology. And about more than 80 million people in Africa live with some form of disability. But how many people living with severe forms of disability in Africa, we don't know. And about 40 to 80 cases per million people of complete loss of legs or arm motor ability. And to address this, the WHO recommends 1 neurosurgeon per 100,000 inhabitants in a country. And the thing is that 161 countries in the world, meaning 83% of all the countries in the world, do not meet this criterion of the WHO. And in my country, the DR Congo, there are about only 10 neurosurgeons for more than 100 million people in my country. Meaning that if we want to meet the WHO criterion, we would need 100 times more neurosurgeons in my country, which is unfeasible at this time. So our project, the Cerebro project, is a brain-computer interface to connect the brain with assistive robotic devices. This is the pipeline. First of all, we have an EEG headset, just like the one that I'm wearing right now for illustration purposes, which captures non-invasive real-time brain signals. And it transmits these real-time brain signals to an AI model, which decodes in real time the user's intentions. And once an intention is recognized, it is sent to a control interface, which converts the intentions into commands to control a robotic assistive device. And the goal of this, for us, is to help people with severe motor impairments to control assistive devices using only the power of their thoughts. And our design principle is clear. We want something that is low-cost, scalable, and adapted to African realities. Now, what have we done so far in our projects? We've been working in experiments with many participants. We've been enhancing AI models. We've been prototyping our work with an end-to-end pipeline to control robotic devices. We've been doing scientific research and publishing papers, attending conferences, and we've built a team to work on this project. And I always love to show these two videos because they show you clearly in which conditions we started working on it. So on the left side video, you have this smart robot car, which is being controlled only by the power of the mind of our participants. On the left side video, you have a young man controlling this smart car remotely with the power of his mind. And on the right side video, you have a young woman controlling the same robot car. On the left side video, you can see that we did it in a laboratory setting. And on the right side video, we took it out from the laboratory because we want this prototype to be used in real-world setting by people. And as you can see, we started in very hard conditions without enough funding for softwares or materials, and with power outages every day is preventing us from moving forward continuously in our work, without access to latest scientific publications because we didn't have subscriptions to online libraries, and access to internet very unstable and expensive, but still, although we were working in these conditions, we've been able to achieve this. We've been able to achieve this because we had two things. We have an unbreakable motivation and an extremely, extremely great resilience to tackle every single obstacle we had, one by one, until we achieved this. Thank you. And now, where are we going in our project? Actually, we're looking forward to do an hospital pilot at the University Clinics of Kinshasa. And the objective is to enable bedridden patients with complete loss of motor capabilities to control a robotic bed through thoughts. And the expected impact is to reduce the side effects induced by prolonged bed rest, to improve rehabilitation and patient comfort, and to reduce long-term hospitalization time and cost. Because we're partnering with researchers who have developed this robotic bed, and these robotic beds are taking a standing position to simulate the standing position and remove the side effects induced by prolonged bed rest. And it has been able, for example, for the man on the left image to reduce his hospitalization time from 9 months to only 3 months. And we want to couple this technology, this robotic beds, with our brain-computer interface. And for sure, we're doing all this to contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals about good health and well-being, industry, innovation, infrastructure, to reduce the inequalities in our societies, and to partner with people to achieve these goals. So the Cerebro project is about transforming people's lives through affordable assistive technology. And we want people, when they hear about AI, to not be scared about it, but to feel hope. We want to promote responsible use of AI. That's why our slogan is AI for people, AI for hope. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Pierre. As we continue this conversation and we continue this country, we turn to the host country for the 2026 African Youth in AI and Robotics Competition. This competition this year is under the honorable sponsorship of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi of Egypt. And now I would invite some comments from Deputy Minister Mahmoud Badawi. Please give us some insight on the journey forward and the vision forward as Egypt hosts us this year. Thank you.
I think let's take yours.
First of all, it's a great pleasure to join you today for AI for Good, to celebrate one of Africa's greatest strengths, which is Africa's youth and Africa's young people. We often say that AI will shape the future, but in reality, it's people who will shape artificial intelligence. And among them, it is today's young innovators who will decide how AI serves our societies, our economies, and our development priorities. Across Africa, we see extraordinary talent, young entrepreneurs, researchers, engineers, and students are already using technology to address real challenges, like the examples that we have seen today. Improving healthcare, supporting agriculture, enhancing education, strengthening public services, and creating new opportunities to their communities. Their creativity is clear, their ambition is strong, but what they need is opportunity, mentorship, investment, and access to wider networks and infrastructure. Allow me to recognize the important contributions of our sister nations, the United Republic of Tanzania and the Republic of South Africa, for successfully hosting the first and second editions of this competition. Their leadership laid a strong foundation for this continental initiative and reflected our shared African commitment to empowering young innovators and advancing AI for sustainable development. Egypt is pleased to build on foundation and to carry this collective vision through the next edition of the African Presidential Youth Competition in Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, under honorary sponsorship of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. For Egypt, hosting this competition is not only about organizing an event, it's about helping build sustainable continental platform that discovers, supports, and connects Africa's next generation of AI leaders. Our aim to bring together young talent, governments, universities, industries, and investors and international partners so that promising ideas can grow into practical solutions with real impact. This is fully aligned with Egypt's national vision. We believe that supporting youth, startups, and innovation ecosystems is a strategic investment in our future. Egypt continues to invest in digital skills, entrepreneurship, applied innovation, and the responsible use of artificial intelligence in priority sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, education, government services, and local languages technologies. But Africa's digital future cannot be built by one country alone. It must be built through partnership. Our vision is clear: a continental platform where African talent is recognized, African challenges are addressed through African innovation, and African startups are connected to global opportunities, investments, and strategic partnerships. This initiative also reflects the spirit of AI for good. Artificial intelligence must be inclusive. It must create opportunities for all countries and all communities and all generations. I would like to thank Oda Nepad, Elevate AI Africa, the ITU, Afrexim Bank, and all partners supporting the important initiative. Your efforts are helping young African innovators move from ideas to impact. I also extend my warmest congratulations to the winners of this competition. Your achievements show the remarkable potential of African innovation. You remind us that technology is most powerful when it is used to solve real problems and improve people's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I warmly invite all partners here today to join us in this journey. We welcome your expertise, mentorship, investment, and support. We look forward to welcoming Africa's brightest young innovators to Egypt and to working with all of you to build an AI future that is innovative, inclusive, responsible, and firmly rooted in African talent and global partnership. Let us ensure that the next generation of AI solutions is not only developed for Africa, but increasingly developed by African youth for the benefit of humanity. One of my mentors once told me, It's not about being remembered when you leave. It's about what you leave. In other words, a society grows great when old men plant trees in which their shades they will never sit in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Excellency, and thank you so much, Honorable Minister from Tanzania as well. In the interest of time, I see our session needs to conclude. However, I would wish to just a quick one parting remark to the young innovators, a minute maximum, from both of you.
First of all, what I can say that through the live demonstrations that have been presented here, among the few, representing all the winners, we can see they've proven to us that the African young innovators, they have the capacity. They have the capacity to innovate. They have the capacities to build the AI solutions and other innovations, despite the environment they are in, despite the challenges, despite the financial challenges. So whatever is required is for the government. And for one, being the government policy makers, we have a transformative role and we have a critical role as governments to make sure we provide the centralized necessary platforms for our young innovators to thrive, for our young innovators to be empowered, for our young innovators to scale up their innovations, but also to protect them, especially their patents and their creations, to make sure they can scale up and they can be commercialized for further steps and for further use to create impact, to have the required relevance. I thank you, and I'm glad to be joined in this panel. Thank you, my colleague.
So my message to all of those young innovators, the first thing is never give up. Always keep trying. But at the same time, you need to understand how to be adaptive. One problem you may say the solution of, but at a certain point, maybe your solution is not the right one. Maybe your solution needs to be adapted. Again, it's your resilience and how further are you willing to go is what will get you the success at the end. And we are all coming from Africa. We're coming from places where we have faced a lot of challenges in the past, and we will face a lot of challenges in the future. But remember this, challenges is what builds the future. Challenges is what builds the man and the woman of tomorrow. Challenges is what makes us overcoming those is our legacy. And this is the legacy is what we actually leave behind. Because those lessons are the lessons that are passed from generation to generation. And our history, and an African-rooted history, is always a place where we can learn. So I encourage you actually to read about the history. Because a lot of the history, it will give you a lot of the principles and the ethics that you can move on with the future for. Again, my last statement would be, keep moving on. Whatever comes in front of you, always try to overcome it and never stop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. And as we conclude, I also take this opportunity to thank all those who support this initiative, the ITU, AI for Good, Afrexim Bank, the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, and all our other partners. Thank you, and we invite you to Egypt this October. Thank you. And shall we have a group photo with the innovators?
All right. Now, many of you will want to stay seated because shortly after the picture here, we'll be having a surprise and special announcement.